What is going on, everyone? This is Christopher Walton, your instructor. Hope you're doing well. It is week 5, so we're moving right along through the semester. It's going pretty interesting. I think you guys are doing great. Last week I posted 2 articles. I hope you had a chance to review those articles. We did not have a discussion post due last week, but this week we do. One article was talking about the different airlines. So we're in part 121, not 135 yet. So we're talking about all the airline operators. And the one article, it was about the different airlines. So your main ones, United, Delta, American, Southwest, and a little of the smaller ones, Alaska, Frontier, Spirit, JetBlue, etc. And it was talking about different market share. And how much passengers they carry per year, what percentage of the market, their peak times, the off times. I hope you had a chance to review that information. There's a lot of great data there. The second article was about COVID, and one passenger had reviewed different airlines. They had traveled on different airlines, and I wanted to get your take on what you thought of their findings. So I think they only did on the big 4, United, Delta, Southwest, and American. Those were the main ones. So this week I'm going to talk very briefly about the big 4 carriers, not too in depth, just a brief overview. Talk about how they're handling COVID briefly, and then we'll go into what your thoughts are and things like that. So try to keep videos somewhat under 10 minutes. I find that anything above 10 minutes, even above 8 minutes, it's typically slow and harder to upload to YouTube. Some people upload, I guess there's 30-minute videos on YouTube. So it's definitely possible. I don't know, maybe my Wi-Fi needs to get a better, stronger signal, but it is what it is. So a little bit about the airline. So the 4, like I said, there's hundreds and hundreds of airlines. However, the big 4 in the United States, the big 4 are Southwest, Delta, United, and American. Southwest is the newest of those. So they founded in 1966 by Herb Keller and I want to say Roland King. They began in Texas, pretty much between 3 cities. And then they kind of expanded to more cities in Texas, hit all the cities in Texas. And then they grew from that to the whole nearby states of Texas. And then from there, that region, and here they are, the entire country. So their motto is based off of undercutting prices of the bigger airlines. That's worked well for them. They do a lot of direct flights. They have about a number of hubs. Their main hubs: Dallas, Love Field, Baltimore, ATL, Atlanta, Houston Hobby. So instead of Houston International, Houston Hobby, Orlando, and Las Vegas. Those are just a number of their hubs. They are predominantly, if not all entirely, operating Boeing 737s. So it's been a great aircraft for them, very efficient, and it works for their operations as well as business model. They have 20% of the market share of all the airlines in the country. So that's pretty impressive for utilizing one type of fleet. A lot of lessons to be learned from them. Of the other 3, United, Delta, and American, I want to say Delta is the oldest, founded in 1925. So it was originally a crop dusting company. And then they decided, hey, we could turn this into an airline. That's what they did. They currently have about 9 hubs in the country. Atlanta is their main one. They have a hub in New York, LaGuardia, JFK, Boston, LAX, Seattle, a number of different locations. I want to say Detroit, but I'm not sure. They operate both Boeings and Airbuses, mainly A330s, and then 757s, 767s for Boeing. They have about 16% of the market share. American, that's founded 1930, I believe. It was a number of airlines came together as a union, and then they formed American. Their main hub, I don't know if they have a hub in Charlotte. They have one in LAX, Dallas, Fort Worth, Miami, Phoenix, and Philadelphia, as well as New York. Majority of their fleet, about 80%, are Boeing 737s and Airbus A320s. They have a couple, I think, A21s and 322s, I want to say, but mainly Airbus A320s. That's the majority of the fleet. They have about 15% of the market share. So you have Southwest 20%, Delta 16%, American 15%, and then United has about 11% of the market share. So they were founded in 1926 as Varney Airlines, and they did air mail routes for the U.S. Post Office. After that, they started buying up other smaller airlines at that time, And then to subsidize all their holdings, they created United as a holding company. So that's where United Airline came from. Their main hubs, they have 8 hubs, I believe. One, Denver, Washington Dulles, Chicago O'Hare, Newark, Houston International, LAX, and a number of others. That's a brief overview of the major players in the country. Like I said, there's others. There's Alaska, there's JetBlue, Frontier, Spirit, some low-cost carriers, SkyWest. I'm missing one. There's a number, and then a bunch of smaller airlines as well. But those are your main players. As far as COVID handling, how they're handling COVID, they are doing, of course, mandating masks. You probably saw that in the news. They are doing keeping the middle. Some airlines are keeping the middle seat open. So I think empty middle seat, that way only by the window or in the aisle, just for 6 feet guidelines while you're sitting. Of course, you have to wear a mask too. In addition to that, one of the changes they made, we talked about this 2 weeks ago, a week or two ago, was the not having they didn't charge for changing your flight. You have to change time to remove that. So that seems pretty good. As far as employment wise, I guess health of the organization, American, they had to cut about 25,000 employees back when COVID took place. And of course, you've heard that most of them are parking their aircraft. But in October, it's planned that they're going to do another 19,000 cuts in their pilots, their flight attendants, and other airline staff, mechanics, and other airline staff as well. So that's pretty sad. And COVID has definitely hit the airline industry pretty drastic, as people don't fly, you don't bring in revenue, and then it goes the bottom line. You need to pay your people, and you can't afford to pay your people. You have to furlough or make cuts, things like that. Something else I wanted to touch on, but I cannot remember. Darn it. This week, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about how they're handling COVID as far as it was stock. That's what it was. Doom. Has anybody bought stock in airlines? I'm curious. Very, very curious. Back when COVID happened, everything went down. The market went down. I bought stock in both, Delta and United. They have yet to turn around, so they're down. But of course, I'm not going to sell them because they won't be down forever. People are going to travel again. So I'm curious to see how that plays out 5 whatever years from now, how they go back up. Of course, I bought them when I thought they were low, and then they dropped further, and they're still low. But I mean, I haven't made my money back. But has anybody else bought stock? I am curious. Stock in airlines, stock in any other aviation manufacturer industry, Boeing, Airbus, etc. Let me know. But also, like I said, what are your thoughts as far as the airlines, how they're handling COVID? If it's do you think it's good? They could do better. They could do less. What's your thoughts? There are prompts I don't have in front of me, the screen in front of me. There are prompts, however, though, of how to outline your video post for your discussion. So follow that. You do great. You are doing great. Have a great week. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. Take care. Chris Watson.